ಶ್ರೀಮತ್ ಸ್ವಾಮಿ ಭಜನಾನಂದಜಿ ಮಹಾರಾಜ್ ಅವರು ಇವತ್ತು ನಮ್ಮೊಡನೆ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಪರಮ ಪೂಜ್ಯರಿಗೆ ನಿಮ್ಮೆಲ್ಲರ ಪರವಾಗಿ ಪ್ರಣಾಮಗಳು ಮತ್ತು ಗೌರವಪೂರ್ಣ ಸ್ವಾಗತ. ಪರಮ ಪೂಜ್ಯ ಸ್ವಾಮೀಜಿಯವರು ಮೈಸೂರಿಗೆ ಬಂದಿರೋದು, ನಮ್ಮೊಡನೆ ಇರೋದು ಹೆಚ್ಚಿನವರಿಗೆ ಇದು ಅಸಾಧ್ಯವಾದದ್ದು ಸಾಧ್ಯವಾದಂತೆ, ಕನಸೋ ನನಸೋ ತಿಳಿಯದಂತೆ ಆಗಿದೆ ಅಂತ ನಮ್ಮ ಭಾವನೆ. ಇದು ನಮಗೆ ಆನಂದದ ಕ್ಷಣಗಳು, ದೊಡ್ಡ ಆಶೀರ್ವಾದ ಕೂಡ, ಒಂದು ಇನ್ನರ್ ಫೆಸ್ಟಿವಲ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು. ಆಂತರಿಕ ಹಬ್ಬ. ಹೊರಗಡೆ ಏನೋ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ತೋರಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ಳದೇ ಇದ್ರೂ ಕೂಡ ಒಳಗೆ ಇದು ಆಂತರಿಕ ಹಬ್ಬ ಮತ್ತು ಮನಸ್ಸನ್ನು ಮೇಲೆತ್ತುವಂಥ ದಿವ್ಯ ಕ್ಷಣಗಳು. ಅವರ ಸಾನ್ನಿಧ್ಯವೇ ಆ ರೀತಿಯಾಗಿ ಅಂತ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಭಾವಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ. ಪರಮ ಪೂಜ್ಯ ಸ್ವಾಮೀಜಿಯವರು ಶ್ರೀಮತ್ ಸ್ವಾಮಿ ಯತೀಶ್ವರಾನಂದಜಿ ಮಹಾರಾಜ್ ಅವರಿಂದ ದೀಕ್ಷೆಯನ್ನು ಪಡೆದು ಅವರ ಮಾರ್ಗದರ್ಶನದಲ್ಲಿ ಬೆಳೆದಂಥವರು. ರಾಮಕೃಷ್ಣ ಮಠ ಬೆಂಗಳೂರಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಪರಮ ಪೂಜ್ಯ ಸ್ವಾಮೀಜಿಯವರು ಮಹಾಸಂಘವನ್ನು ಸೇರಿದರು. ನಂತರ ದೀರ್ಘಕಾಲ ಅದ್ವೈತ ಆಶ್ರಮದಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರಬುದ್ಧ ಭಾರತ ಮಾಸಪತ್ರಿಕೆಯ ಸಂಪಾದಕರಾಗಿ ಸೇವೆ ಸಲ್ಲಿಸಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅವರ ಸಂಪಾದಕೀಯ ಲೇಖನಗಳು ಬಹಳಷ್ಟು ಜನರಿಗೆ ದಾರಿದೀಪವಾಗಿ ಅವರನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಚಿಂತನಾ ಪರರನ್ನಾಗಿ ಮಾಡೋದಲ್ಲದೆ ಸಾಧಕರನ್ನಾಗಿಯೂ ಮಾಡಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳೋದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವಿಲ್ಲಿ ಇಷ್ಟಪಡ್ತೀವಿ. ತದನಂತರ ಪರಮ ಪೂಜ್ಯ ಸ್ವಾಮೀಜಿಯವರು ರಾಮಕೃಷ್ಣ ಮಹಾಸಂಘದ ಟ್ರಸ್ಟಿಗಳಲ್ಲೊಬ್ಬರಾಗಿ, ಸಹಾಯಕ ಪ್ರಧಾನ ಕಾರ್ಯದರ್ಶಿಗಳಾಗಿ, ಅಸಿಸ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಜನರಲ್ ಸೆಕ್ರೆಟರಿಯಾಗಿ ಸೇವೆ ಸಲ್ಲಿಸಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಈಗ ನಮ್ಮ ಮಹಾಸಂಘದ ಉಪಾಧ್ಯಕ್ಷರಾಗಿ ಪೂಜ್ಯ ಸ್ವಾಮೀಜಿಯವರು ಸೇವೆ ಸಲ್ಲಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಪೂಜ್ಯ ಸ್ವಾಮೀಜಿಯವರು ಶ್ರೇಷ್ಠ ಚಿಂತಕರು, ಲೇಖಕರು, ಅನುಭವಿಗಳು. ಅವರ ಕೆಲವು ಕೃತಿಗಳನ್ನು ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮುಂದೆ ಹೇಳಬೇಕು. ಇಂಗ್ಲಿಷ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಪೂಜ್ಯ ಸ್ವಾಮೀಜಿಯವರು ಸೆಲ್ಫ್ಲೆಸ್ ವರ್ಕ್ ಅಂತ ಒಂದು ಕೃತಿ, ಯೂತ್ ಪವರ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಪವರ್ ಆಫ್ ಐಡಿಯಾಸ್ ಅಂತ 2016ನೇ ಇಸ್ವಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ರಾಮಕೃಷ್ಣ ವಿದ್ಯಾಶಾಲೆಯಿಂದ ಪ್ರಕಟಣೆ ಆದಂಥ ಒಂದು ಕೃತಿ, ಮತ್ತು ಶ್ರೀರಾಮಕೃಷ್ಣರನ್ನ ಕುರಿತಾದಂಥ ಒಂದು ವಿಶಿಷ್ಟವಾದಂಥ ಒಂದು ಗ್ರಂಥ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ದ ಲೈಟ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಮಾಡರ್ನ್ ವರ್ಲ್ಡ್ ಅಂತ. ಶ್ರೀರಾಮಕೃಷ್ಣರ ಜೀವನ ಚರಿತ್ರೆ ಮತ್ತು ಅವತಾರದ ಉದ್ದೇಶ ಇದನ್ನು ಕುರಿತಾಗಿ ತುಂಬ ಆಳವಾದ ಅನುಭವದ ಮಾತುಗಳನ್ನು ಪೂಜ್ಯ ಸ್ವಾಮೀಜಿಯವರು ಆ ಪುಸ್ತಕದಲ್ಲಿ ಬರೆದಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಇವೆಲ್ಲವೂ ಕೂಡ ಪೂಜ್ಯ ಸ್ವಾಮೀಜಿಯವರ ಮೇರು ಕೃತಿಗಳು ಅಂತಲೇ ಹೇಳಬೇಕು. ಮೆಡಿಟೇಷನ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಸ್ಪಿರಿಚುವಲ್ ಲೈಫ್ ಪುಸ್ತಕ ಹೆಚ್ಚಿನವರಿಗೆ ಪರಿಚಯ ಇದೆ, ಧ್ಯಾನ ಮತ್ತು ಆಧ್ಯಾತ್ಮಿಕ ಜೀವನ ಅಂತ. ಪರಮ ಪೂಜ್ಯ ಸ್ವಾಮಿ ಯತೀಶ್ವರಾನಂದಜಿ ಮಹಾರಾಜ್ ಅವರ ಪುಸ್ತಕ. ಅದನ್ನು ಸಂಗ್ರಹಿಸಿ ಅದರ ಸಂಪಾದಕರಾಗಿ ಮಾಡಿದಂಥವರು ಪರಮ ಪೂಜ್ಯ ಸ್ವಾಮಿ ಭಜನಾನಂದಜಿ ಮಹಾರಾಜ್ ಅವರು. ಇವತ್ತಿಗೂ ಕೂಡ ಪೂಜ್ಯ ಸ್ವಾಮೀಜಿಯವರು ಬೇಲೂರು ಮಠದಲ್ಲಿ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮಚಾರಿಗಳಿಗೆ ಏನೊಂದು ತರಬೇತಿ ಕೇಂದ್ರ ಇದೆ, ಪ್ರಶಿಕ್ಷಣ ಕೇಂದ್ರ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, ಟ್ರೈನಿಂಗ್ ಸೆಂಟರ್ ಅಂತ. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮಚಾರಿಗಳಿಗೆಲ್ಲ ತರಗತಿಗಳನ್ನು ಇವತ್ತಿಗೂ ಕೂಡ ಪೂಜ್ಯ ಸ್ವಾಮೀಜಿಯವರು ತೆಗೆದುಕೊಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅವರ ತರಗತಿಯನ್ನು ನಾವೆಲ್ಲರೂ ಕೂಡ ಭಾಗವಹಿಸಿದ್ವಿ. ತರಗತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಮಗೆ ಸಿಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಂಥ ಮಾರ್ಗದರ್ಶನ, ಜ್ಞಾನ ಅದು ಬಹಳ ವಿಶಿಷ್ಟವಾದಂಥದ್ದು. ಪರಮ ಪೂಜ್ಯ ಸ್ವಾಮೀಜಿಯವರು ನಮ್ಮೊಡನೆ ಇರುವಂಥದ್ದು ಅವರ ಒಂದು ವಿಶೇಷ ಆಶೀರ್ವಾದ ಅಂತ ನಾವು ಭಾವಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ. ಪೂಜ್ಯ ಸ್ವಾಮೀಜಿಯವರು ಈಗ ಮಂತ್ರದ ಶಕ್ತಿ, ಪವರ್ ಆಫ್ ಮಂತ್ರ ಎಂಬ ವಿಷಯವನ್ನು ಕುರಿತಾಗಿ ನಮ್ಮೆಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಮಾರ್ಗದರ್ಶನ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಆಶ್ರಮದ ಪರವಾಗಿ, ನಿಮ್ಮೆಲ್ಲರ ಪರವಾಗಿ ಮತ್ತೊಮ್ಮೆ ಪ್ರಣಾಮಪೂರ್ವಕವಾಗಿ ಬೇಡ್ಕೊಳ್ತೀವಿ. ಜೈ ರಾಮಕೃಷ್ಣ.
ಶುರು ಮಾಡಬಹುದಾ? ಎರಡು ಇರಲಿ. ನನ್ನ ಭಾಳ ಲೋ ಪವರ್ಫುಲ್ ಮೈಕ್ ದೊರಕಾರ. ಸರಿ ನೋಡಿ, ಶುರು ಮಾಡಬಹುದಾ? ಜಮಲೀಂ ಶಾರದಾಂ ದೇವೀಂ ರಾಮಕೃಷ್ಣಂ ಜಗದ್ಗುರುಂ ಪಾದಪದ್ಮೇ ತಯೋ ಶ್ರುತ್ವ ಪ್ರಣಮಾಮಿ ಮುಹುರ್ಮುಹುರ್. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಪೂಜ್ಯರಾದ ಮಹಾರಾಜ್ ಸ್ವಾಮಿ नित्यानंद जी महाराज, मुक्तिदानंद जी महाराज एवं हमारे आत्मज्ञानानंद जी महाराज इवर ಬೇರೆ ಈ ಧರಣೆ ಪ್ರಾಚೀನ सन्यासी बंधु এখানে আছেন, ಅವರಿಗೆ আমার সশ্রদ্ধ নমস্কার জানাচ্ছি। বাকি সবাইকে everyone I offer my namaskar and best wishes, prayerful best wishes to all of you. ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾತಾಡೋಣಿದ್ದೆ, ಆದರೆ ಬಹಳ ವರ್ಷ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ದೇಶದ ಹೊರಗಡೆ ಇದ್ದರಿಂದ ಇವಾಗ ಕಾನ್ಫಿಡೆನ್ಸ್ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಆದ್ದರಿಂದ ಇಂಗ್ಲೀಷ್ ಐ ಟ್ರೈ ಟು ಸ್ಪೀಕ್ ಇನ್ ಇಂಗ್ಲೀಷ್. ಮಧ್ಯದಲ್ಲಿ ವೆರ್ ನೆಸಸರಿ ಆರ್ ಪಾಸಿಬಲ್ ಐ ಶಲ್ ಟ್ರೈ ಟು ಸ್ಪೀಕ್ ಇನ್ ಕನ್ನಡ ಆಲ್ಸೋ. ಟುಡೇಸ್ ಟಾಪಿಕ್ ಈಸ್ ಪವರ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಮಂತ್ರಾಸ್. ಮಂತ್ರಶಾಸ್ತ್ರ ಎಂದು ಹೇಳಿ, ಮಂತ್ರಶಾಸ್ತ್ರ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ವೆರಿ ಡಿಫಿಕಲ್ಟ್. It's a branch of Tantras, Tantra Shastra. Mantra Shastra, it is very difficult to understand. If you explain it in detail, most of you may not be able to follow. So I shall begin with in a simple way, explain the mantras in a simple way. I will begin with 3 basic questions, 3 simple questions, which all of you are, I am sure, are able to either answer or at least to think logically. The first question is, what is a mantra? What is a mantra? What is the difference between a mantra and ordinary words? That is the first question. What is a mantra? Second question is equally simple, and that is, why do we repeat these mantras? You don't repeat ordinary words. ಒಂದ್ಸತಿ ಸಪೋಸ್ ನೀವು ಯಾರ ಹತ್ರ ಜೊತೆ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಿ, ಸೊ ಯು ಸೇ ಫಾರ್ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್, ನಾನು ಇವತ್ತು ಬೆಳಿಗ್ಗೆ ಒಂದು ಹಾತಿ ಎಲಿಫೆಂಟ್, ಐ ಸಾ ಎನ್ ಎಲಿಫೆಂಟ್ ಇನ್ನು ಹೇಳಿದರೆ ನಿಮಗೆ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. If you don't understand, have to repeat it at the most once more. Suppose I go on repeating that ನಾನು ಬೆಳಿಗ್ಗೆ ಒಂದು ಎಲಿಫೆಂಟ್ ಆನೆಯನ್ನು ನೋಡಿದ್ದೆ, ನಿನ್ನೆ ನಾವು ಆ್ಯಕ್ಚುಲಿ ವೆಲ್ ಕಮಿಂಗ್ ವಿ ಸಾ ಇನ್ ಎಲಿಫೆಂಟ್. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವುದೋ ಒಂದು ಕಡೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಪ್ಲೇಸ್, ಬಾಮನ್ ನಗರಿ ಆರ್ ಸಮ್ವೇರ್, ಸರ್ ವಿ ಸಾ 2 elephants also. Anyway, if I go on repeating I saw an elephant, you will think ಅವರಿಗೆ ಹುಚ್ಚುಡ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ತಿಳ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಬಿಡ್ಬೋದು. Anyway, there is no need to repeat ordinary words. Only mantra only we repeat. Why we repeat? Why do we repeat the mantras? What is the need for repeating the mantra? That is second question. The third question is the result. The result of mantra japa. ಮಂತ್ರ ಈ ಥರ ಉಚ್ಚಾರಣೆ ಮಾಡಿದರೆ ವಾಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ದ ರಿಸಲ್ಟ್? ನೀವು ಎಷ್ಟೋ ಐ ಥಿಂಕ್ ಮೆನಿ ಆಫ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಯು, ಅಟ್ ಲೀಸ್ಟ್ ಮೆನಿ ಆಫ್ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟೇಕನ್ ಮಂತ್ರ ದೀಕ್ಷಾ from the Ramakrishna Mutt sadhus and senior sadhus. You are blessed in doing that. And now, what is the result of repeating the mantra? That everyone is eager to know. Suppose you go on repeating the mantra, Challish Bachar, that is, even after 40 years, people still come and tell us, "Oh, Swamiji, I have been repeating the mantra for 40 years. Still, my mind is moving, running here and there. It doesn't sit at the lotus feet of Thakur." The people even now, they complain even after 40 years. ಯಾತಕ್ಕೆ ಇದರ ಕಂಪ್ಲೇಂಟ್ ಮಾಡೋದು? Why even after 30 years or 40 years the mantra does not produce the effect? And suppose it produces the effect, what should be the correct, we should expect? What effect should we expect? If you expect the wrong thing and if you don't get, that is another thing. But if you at least, you should know what to expect, the correct expectation. There is a repetition of the mantra. What does it lead to? These are the 3 simple questions I would like to ask you to think, so that you should think that what I talk here about is only a little thing, minor thing, what I have been thinking about for several years. But what is important is how you think, what you think, and what you understand by the mantra and repetition of the mantras. That is the most important thing. So anyway, whatever I know, I shall discuss in a brief way. First of all, what is a mantra? What is the difference between mantras and ordinary words? What is the function of words? What do words do? Generally, whatever we can see or experience through the 5 senses, that is eyes, ears, skin, tongue, and 5 indriyas. So that we try to explain. We can tell people about it, they understand. But what we cannot experience through the indriyas, we communicate to others through words. Even what we know also we communicate to others through words. So words have the power to communicate from the knowledge of one person to another person. Suppose in a school, in a class, the teacher, when he talks, the students are listening. The knowledge which is in the teacher's mind, that goes out through the words and strike the minds of the students. So then they understand. So words have the power to communicate knowledge. Gyan vinimay korar eta shakti nihito ache. Every word, not only mantra, all the words. I am now talking to you. Why? Because whatever I know or whatever I have gained, the experiences which I have gained in my life, I try to communicate to you. So through words. So all words have the power to communicate knowledge. And mantras also or words, and they also communicate knowledge. Then what is the difference between mantra, ordinary words and mantras? That is the important point. If the purpose of words is only to communicate knowledge, then any word, all words are enough. Then the power to communicate knowledge through words, this was in most of the people in India, we never think about it. We rarely, if I ask any of you, most of our people, Indians, are not able to explain how words communicate knowledge. That is an important subject in the West. It was only at the beginning of the 19th century in Switzerland. What is his name? I forget the name of the person. He only started this idea of the theory that how words, the question, how words communicate knowledge through words. In India, most of the people are totally unaware. Even the question doesn't arise. How words, when person talk, how the knowledge goes from one person to another person. In Vedic period, the Agni was the Purohita. Agni Mele Purohitam. So that is the first mantra of the Vedas. So whatever, if you want to give something, offer something to the gods, the only way was to give to the Agni. Agni Prastahuti. Whatever is Ahuti Rupe, the Agni te samarpita hoy, that will reach the gods. You can be sure of that. Then they found that Agni is not necessary. Moreover, Agni himself, once he tried to, when he was given silver, something for his keeping, according to mythology, the Agni, he ran away with this silver. That's why silver, the gold is never used in pada for the anklets, especially for women. Only silver is used. The silver is never given as dakshina to the Purohita after any kind of homa or puja. Only Suvarna Khandam, that is a piece of gold or a coin, gold coin is given. Agni cannot be trusted. So then they found Vak Devebhyo Yajnam Vahati. Vak, words, have the power to communicate yajna, ahuti. That is, suppose you offer ghee or milk, that will reach the gods. So that is Vak Devebhyo Yajnam Vahati. Words have the power to carry ahuti to the gods. That's all. But so then how words carry that, how the uttering the words. That's why for every ahuti or any kind of offering, we repeat the mantra also. A mantra is uttered. Anything, daily puja, those who have done the puja, they know. Everything is clear. Still they utter the mantra. Pushpe, pushpe, so what is that? Pushpe chava kirne cha, that is pushpa shuddhi. If you want to, before doing the puja, everything must be purified. So pushpa also is to be purified. So you sprinkle water and touch, that is enough. But still you utter the mantra, because mantra carries the intention. The intention or within the person, that the mantra has the power to communicate to the object outside. So that's why words have the power to communicate knowledge. This was known to all. Everybody knows that words, we all communicate with one another through words. But the mantras also have the power to communicate the knowledge. The knowledge that is communicated through words is called the meaning of the words. So the meanings of the words are more or less fixed. If you have any doubt, you refer to the dictionary. Dictionary gives the meanings. So words have certain fixed meanings. So through words we communicate the meaning. Suppose, but words, the problem is words are not continuous. For instance, Sri Ramakrishna, Sri Ramakrishna. So there are several words. It's when you utter the word Sri, the word disappears. Then you utter Ram, Rama, Ra. Then the word Ra disappears. Ma, Rama, Ma also disappears. Then how do the mind connect? That's the connected meaning. At the end, when you say Ramakrishna, you immediately understand what he means is Ramakrishna. So words have the power to communicate knowledge if they are arranged in a particular order. So this though it now, because I talk about this, it may appear to be very simple, but if you think about it, it is something very deep and extremely difficult to understand. I thought about it for years, and the Western people, they alone, unlike the Indians, that quest for the ultimate truth is there very much. They are seeking. In India, Tatvamasi, Eglo, they discovered the ultimate truth. So the quest for new knowledge is very much less in India. People don't bother at all how words communicate knowledge. We are coming to mantra. Before mantra, I am talking about ordinary words. So not mantras. Ordinary words have the power to communicate meaning. How the words communicate meaning? This was a difficult subject. It was discussed among the grammarians, Vaiyakaranas, and Mimamsakas, Naiyayikas, and other philosophers, hotly discussed. And then the Mimamsakas said, their view was that words have an eternal relationship with God. Fixes a relationship with words, that sound symbols, and the meaning. So amuk, that is ಇಂತಹ ಶಬ್ದದಿಂದ ಇಂತಹ ಅರ್ಥ ಹೊರಗೆ ಬರುತ್ತದೆ ಎಂದು ಹೇಳಿ ಈಶ್ವರ ಸಂಕಲ್ಪ ಅದ ಅನುಸಾರವಾಗಿ ಇದು ನಡೀತಾ ಇದೆ. ಸೊ ಎನಿವೇ, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ the deep depth meaning has never been properly thought. It's a matter of controversy. Bhartrhari Name, there was a great grammarian, Bhartrhari, and also Patanjali. Patanjali, not Yoga Patanjali. There was another grammarian Patanjali. That Patanjali wrote what is called Mahabhashya on Panini's Sutras. Because of Patanjali's Mahabhashya only, Panini's Sutras have now become intelligible to all people. Anyway, so Patanjali also asked this question, how words communicate knowledge? And Bhartrhari's view was the knowledge, that artha, meaning, lies not in the word, but it is something universal. He called it the spata. The spata theory he propounded. All the world, the whole universe is, he imagined the whole universe is as Shabda Brahman. Brahman, everybody, all of you, most of you know the word, meaning of the word Brahman, a kind of conscious, infinite consciousness, all pervading. But Bhartrhari said, Brahman is not merely consciousness. It is also a kind of sound, that nada. So that is known as Shabda Brahman or Nada Brahman. Later on, the Tantras developed the idea of Nada Brahman. Anyway, but Shankaracharya, Acharya Shankara, he refused to accept Bhartrhari's spata theory. He said, according to Bhartrhari, meaning lies not in the words, not in the mind, but it is an independent thing. Whole universe is full of meaning, knowledge. It is the world itself is knowledge, and the words only manifest this knowledge. So Shankara rejected this view because he could not tolerate this idea that knowledge lies in inanimate, unconscious object. According to him, the knowledge is in the person. Everyone has within him is buddhi. That buddhi has a power to synthesize discrete types of knowledge. He called it Pratyavamarshita Jnana. I forget it just now because I don't have the books or anything. I forget now. Pratyavamarshita Arshana Buddhi or something like that. Shankara said that is the buddhi. The buddhi in us has the power to connect, to combine discrete and disconnected ideas or words or pieces of knowledge. That is Shankara's view. Anyway, we come to the mantras. The mantra also has got the power to communicate knowledge. When you say Namah Shivaya, Namah Shivaya, मैंने शिवनी के शिवा ठाकुर बांग्ला शिव ठाकुर जी के प्रणाम जानाई इसे इन बांग्ला ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂಡ ಶಿವನಿಗೆ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ ಪ್ರಣಾಮ ಅರ್ಥ ಗೊತ್ತಾಯಿತು, ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗ್ತದೆ. ಸೊ ನಮ ಶಿವಾಯ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೈನ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಿಲ್ಲ. ನಮ ಶಿವಾಯ ಹೇಳಿದರೆ ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ. ದಟ್ ನಮ ಶಿವಾಯ, ಶಿವನಿಗೆ ನನ್ನ ಪ್ರಣಾಮ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ. ಹಾಗಾದರೆ ರಿಪೀಟ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಯಾತಕ್ಕೆ? ನಮ ಶಿವಾಯ ಅರ್ಥವಾಯಿತು, ಅರ್ಥ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗುತ್ತದೆ. ಅದು ಯಾತಕ್ಕೆ ನಮ ಶಿವಾಯ ನೋಡಿ ರಿಪೀಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರೋದು ಯಾತಕ್ಕೆ? ಸೊ ಅದೇ ಥರ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಗುರು ನಿಮಗೆ ಒಂದು ಮಂತ್ರ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಅದರ ಮಂತ್ರದ ಅರ್ಥ ನಿಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗುತ್ತದೆ. ಅಲ್ಲವಾದರೆ ಅವರು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೈನ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಬಟ್ ವೈ ಡು ಯು ಗೋ ಆನ್ ರಿಪೀಟಿಂಗ್ ದಟ್ ಮಂತ್ರ ನಮೋ ನಾರಾಯಣಾಯ, ನಮೋ ವಾಸುದೇವಾಯ? ಅರ್ಥ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗುತ್ತದೆ. ಅದು ಯಾತಕ್ಕೆ ರಿಪೀಟ್ ಮಾಡೋದು, ಯಾತಕ್ಕೆ ರಿಪೀಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಿಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ದಿ ಮಂತ್ರಾಸ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಎ ಪವರ್ ಅದರ್ ದ್ಯಾನ್ ಕಮ್ಯುನಿಕೇಟಿಂಗ್ ಮೀನಿಂಗ್. ಆರ್ಡಿನರಿ ವರ್ಡ್ಸ್, ಆಲ್ ವರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ದಿ ಪವರ್ ಟು ಕಮ್ಯುನಿಕೇಟ್ ಮೀನಿಂಗ್ ಆರ್ ನಾಲೆಜ್. ನನ್ನ ಒಳಗೆ ಇರುವ ಜ್ಞಾನ ನಿಮ್ಮೆಲ್ಲರ ಕಡೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ತಲುಪುತ್ತದೆ ಥ್ರೂ ವರ್ಡ್ಸ್. ಬಟ್ ದಟ್ ಮಂತ್ರಾಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ದಿ ಕೆಪಾಸಿಟಿ ಟು ಕಮ್ಯುನಿಕೇಟ್ ನಾಲೆಜ್. ಬಟ್ we repeat, go on repeating the mantra because the mantras have something extra, some power, more power. It does not mean only, mantras do not merely communicate knowledge or meaning. Mantras have the power to materialize the deity. ಮಂತ್ರ ಉಚ್ಚಾರಣ ಮಾಡಿದರೆ ಸರಿಯಾಗಿ ರೀತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಮಂತ್ರ ಉಚ್ಚಾರಣ ಮಾಡಿದರೆ ದೇವತಾ ವಿಲ್ ಅಪಿಯರ್ ಬಿಫೋರ್ ಅಸ್. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದಿ ಪವರ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಮಂತ್ರಾಸ್. ದಿಸ್ ಪವರ್ ಈಸ್ ನೋನ್ ಆಸ್ ವಾಚಕ ಶಕ್ತಿ. ದಿ ಪವರ್ ಟು ಕಮ್ಯುನಿಕೇಟ್ ಮೀನಿಂಗ್, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ನೋನ್ ಆಸ್ ವಾಚ್ಯ ಶಕ್ತಿ. ವಾಚ್ಯ ಶಕ್ತಿ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ದಿ ಪವರ್ ಟು ಕಮ್ಯುನಿಕೇಟ್ ಮೀನಿಂಗ್, ನಾಲೆಜ್. ನನ್ನ ಒಳಗೆ ಇರುವ ಜ್ಞಾನ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಕಡೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ತಲುಪುತ್ತದೆ. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ವಾಚ್ಯ ಶಕ್ತಿ. ವಾಚ್ಯ ಶಕ್ತಿ ಮಂತ್ರದಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂಡ ಇದೆ. ಬಟ್ ಮಂತ್ರ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಸಮ್ ಅದರ್ ಪವರ್. ದಟ್ ಪತಂಜಲಿ ಯೋಗ ಸೂತ್ರ, ಪತಂಜಲಿ ಸೇಸ್ ಸ್ವಾಧ್ಯಾಯಾತ್ ಇಷ್ಟದೇವತಾ ಸಂಪ್ರಯೋಗ. ಸ್ವಾಧ್ಯಾಯ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ repetition, japa, repetition of the mantra. Swadhyayat Ishtadevata Samprayogaha. Through by repetition of the mantra, you come into contact. Samprayoga means Devara jotege you come into contact with Devara, darshanavagutade. How the mantras communicate, bring the darshana of the deity, that is the important another question. Suppose you repeat ಬದನೆಕಾಯಿ ನಳಿ. ಸಪೋಸ್ ಯು ಗೋ ಆನ್ ರಿಪೀಟಿಂಗ್ ಬದನೆಕಾಯಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಮುಂದೆ ಕಡೆ ಬರ್ತದಾ? ಬರೋಲ್ಲ. ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಬದನೆಕಾಯಿ ಡಸಂಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ದಿ ಪವರ್ ಟು ಮೆಟೀರಿಯಲೈಸ್ ಬದನೆಕಾಯಿ. ಬಟ್ ಇಫ್ ಯು ರಿಪೀಟ್ ದಿ ನಮೋ ಭಗವತೆ ನಾರಾಯಣಾಯ ವಾಸುದೇವಾಯ, ದಿ ಡಿಟಿ ವಿಲ್ ಅಪಿಯರ್ ಬಿಫೋರ್ ಅಸ್. ನಮ ಶಿವಾಯ, ಇಫ್ ಯು ರಿಪೀಟ್ ಶಿವನಿಗೆ ಪ್ರಣಾಮ, ಅದು ಅರ್ಥವಲ್ಲದೆ ದಿ ಮಂತ್ರ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ದ ಪವರ್ ಟು ಮೆಟೀರಿಯಲೈಸ್ ದಿ ಡಿಟಿ ಬಿಫೋರ್ our eyes. How the mantra brings about this materialization? How does the mantra helps in bringing the deity before us? That is difficult to answer. There are 2 or 3 theories are there. Only I don't want to go into the details. ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ಹೋದರೆ it is not possible to discuss this in a ಜನರಲ್ ಮೀಟಿಂಗ್. ಈ ತರಹ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕಾಗೋಲ್ಲ. ಇಷ್ಟೇ ಸಾಕು. ದಟ್ ಮಂತ್ರ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ದಿ ಪವರ್ ಟು ಮೆಟೀರಿಯಲೈಸ್, ಟು ಬ್ರಿಂಗ್ ದಿ ಡಿಟಿ ಬಿಫೋರ್ ಅಸ್. ಅಷ್ಟೇ, ದಟ್ ಪವರ್ ಈಸ್ ದೇರ್. ಇಫ್ ಯು ರಿಪೀಟ್ ದಿ ಮಂತ್ರ ಆಫ್ ಠಾಕೂರ್, you will be able to realize Ishtadevata Samprayoga. This is what Patanjali says. So that capacity we have got. There are different theories according to one theory, and that is Advaita theory. Advaita also, they have got this theory. The It is called Shabda Aparoksha. Shabda Aparoksha means Gurudev Tattvamasi ಎಂದು ಹೇಳಿದಾಗ that realization of oneness with Brahman will automatically arise within you. How does it arise? That Advaitins have never explained it properly. Anyway, that is according to that the other some commentators, this mantra will remove the ajnana covering the Atman, and that is how the Ishtadevata darshana aguttade. According to another theory, that is mainly the tantras, every deity has a particular vritti ಇದೆ. Ma Kali, if you want to realize Mother Kali, you have to get that vritti, Mother Kali vritti. Once that vritti arises in your mind, then the darshana aguttade. There is no doubt you will get the vision of Mother Kali. If you want to have the vision of Sri Krishna, you must have Krishna vritti. So the mantra helps in the creation of the materialization, that remove the ajnana covering the soul, and it bring the deity before us. That is another view. According to the other tantric view, that this every mantra has got a power. This power is stored in the bija. That's why with Shakta mantras, the mantras given in Belu in Ramakrishna Math, these are all Shakta mantras. They are all Shakti Yukta mantras. Power is stored in that, in the bija. Most of the tantric mantras have bija mantras. So there will be this mantra, power is stored in the bija. First there is this Om. Om represents, in ordinary case of ordinary people, it represents Saguna Brahman. And then comes the Ishtadevata Nam, ಹೆಸರು ಬರುತ್ತದೆ. So Narayana or Ramakrishna. So Om. And then comes the bija in between Saguna Brahman or the infinite and the Khanda, or the Swamiji explains this in Bhakti Yoga. Bhakti Yoga, if you study again, you will find this. There is a sub-chapter called Mantra, the word and its meaning. So there if you read, Swamiji has tried to explain this. There is a invariable connection, an invariable coexistence between the meaning and the word. If that was the meaning, that was the revelation Swamiji had in Almora under the banyan tree, Ashwatha tree. Swamiji had a unique experience. That was that the idea of the connection between word and the material object. If the mantra is uttered, the material object will appear before us. So Thakur, when Sri Ramakrishna used to do puja, so in puja, when you do ordinary puja, there is what is called Agni Prakara Chinta. Water is spread all around. So then Agni Prakara Chinta. A Prakara means fort. Kela. That is a fort. So when Thakur could see that when water is poured all around, he could see a wall of fire all around. So mantras have the power to materialize objects. So now the ordinary people may not have it, but a great persons like Sri Ramakrishna and others, they have the power. So anyway, the mantra has got another power called Vachaka Shakti. All words have Vachya Shakti, the power to communicate meaning, knowledge. But mantras are those words, only a few words have the power to communicate not only knowledge but to materialize the object. That's why in the Upanishads, in the Vedas, every sentence in a Veda is called a mantra. But the Upanishads, 10 Upanishads are there. Kena Upanishad, Mandukya Upanishad, and Somika Katha, Ishakena Katha Prashna, Munda Mandukyam Tatha. So all these 10 Upanishads, they are with statements, they are all called mantras. But those mantras will give us only a paroksha jnana, that is indirect knowledge. Direct knowledge can be got only through 4 Maha Mantras. They are called Mahavakyas. They are 4 Mahavakyas, Tattvamasi and things like that. So these 4 Mahavakyas alone are called Maha Mantras. They alone have the power to make you realize Brahman. Other words in the Upanishads, if you study the Upanishad, you will get only paroksha jnana, that is direct, indirect knowledge, that's all. If you go to a Panditji, our Pandits, Samskrita Pandits, they know so many things and they know much about Upanishad, Gita, everything they know, but they can't communicate Brahmajnana to you, whereas a Brahmajnani alone can communicate Brahmajnana to others. That's why Yama tells Nachiketa, Ananya Prokte Gatiratra Nasti. If a person Ananya Prokte, Ananya means one who has realized Brahman as Aham Brahmasmi, identification with Brahman. Ananya Prokte Gatiratra Nasti, that is, he is bound. So Yama tells Nachiketa, I am the qualified teacher. If I teach you Brahman, you will surely realize Brahman. So the only in a highly advanced teacher like Yam or Tatapuri, such people, they only can communicate. When they say, when they talk about, when they utter the mantras, Mahavakyas, Brahmajnana will automatically come. So the same thing about Ishtadevata also. When the Guru, powerful Guru who has realized the power of the mantra, when he utters the mantra, the knowledge of the Ishtadevata will automatically rise within you. This is the belief. Anyway, one point it should be understood, and that is the mantras are not artificially created. These mantras are not some people has sit together and let us create this mantra, Namo Narayanaya, Namah Shivaya. These are not created mantras. They come spontaneously. Some people get mantras in dreams because there is very little resistance. In the waking Jagrata Avastha, our mind is constantly resisting incoming grace. Ek bar Holy Mother said, we want your grace. A mother said, I do send the grace. But tomorrow you don't accept, it comes back. The grace, my grace comes back to me, Mother said. So in the same way, because of ego, and this is more in south than in Bengal, where there is a living tradition, spiritual tradition, this resistance will be less. When the Guru utters the mantra, it will go direct into the soul. There, otherwise, if you resist, the mantra will not go in. It will only produce paroksha jnana, that's all. Anyway, we are discussing the first topic, what is a mantra. The second topic is why we repeat the mantra. That also, I think, we were more or less is explained. It is for the what is that? Vachaka Shakti. This Vachaka Shakti comes out through repetition. Vacha Shakti once is enough. If you say, I saw an elephant this morning, people will understand. At the most, you have to repeat once or twice. That is enough. If you go on repeating, then people will think, Uchudukkumpatide, Telkumpatare ashte. So, whereas the mantra, Ishta Devata mantra, you have to go on repeating because Vachaka Shakti, it is the Vachaka Shakti that materializes the Ishta Devata. When Patanjali said, Swadhyaya Ishta Devata Samprayogaha, that means it is the Vachaka Shakti of the mantra that brings the Ishta Devata, materializes the Ishta Devata before you. So that is why the more you repeat the Vachaka Shakti, the mantra, the more the Vachaka Shakti will come out. I don't know whether you have seen the home, traditional home, they use not our Deshalai, what is called matches, they won't use this rutiks. Those who do yaga and yajna, they will never use our Deshal matches and to light the fire. They always keep with them arani. Arani is a kind of hard wood. There are two plates or two pieces of wood, and they keep it covered with cloth. With great respect, they will take it wherever they go. They won't keep it here and there. So anyway, that arani, and if it is to one rope, one piece below, another piece above, they are nothing but wood, carter plate. But when they rotate, the fire will come out. I was astonished when I saw the fire coming out. It will rise up to 5 feet or 6 feet. Especially when they do it with this kind of mandhana ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. Mandhana ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ, out of this ordinary wood, so much of fire Vispalinga, the fire sparks will come out. So that in the same way, when the more you repeat, the more we repeat the mantra, the more the what is that called, Vachaka Shakti will come out. So to manifest the Vachaka Shakti, that is for that only you repeat the mantra. And Vachaka Shakti, which is when it comes out in full force, that will remove the ajnana from the soul, from the mind, and materialize the deity. You can see the deity. The deity is maybe he or she may be in Devaloka ಎಲ್ಲೋ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, but she is covered with Ajnana, some screen like thing. So when you utter the Mahavakya or Mahamantras, the mantras, this mantra will, that mantra contains what is called the Bija mantra. The Bija mantra has the power to remove the Ajnana and reveal the deity. This is the power of the mantras. This power is there in especially in the tantric mantras. The mantras that are given in the Belur Math in the tradition, that is from Guru to the disciple, Guru Parampara ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. So this mantra, this power, as I told you, these are not artificially created. Most of the mantras now being given to the devotees, they were given by Thakur himself to Holy Mother, Sri Sarada Devi, and Mother gave it them to her disciples, like that. And similarly, Raja Maharaj also got the several mantras from Thakur, and then it has come down. When Yatisharanandaji Maharaj was sent to America, in those days, the people were given their different types of mantras according to their mental makeup. So Maharaj was taught, my Mahapurush Maharaj himself taught Yatisharanandaji Maharaj several mantras. So he had noted down in his diary. Those mantras are still there in Belur Math with the President Maharaj. So anyway, the mantras are not artificially created. They have come from the Adi Guru. It by Parampara Krame, Guru Parampara Krame Tule Arsche. So these mantras, that is this great power. The mantras, Swamiji himself says, unless the mantra is received through Guru Parampara, that mantra has very little value. In one of the letters, Swamiji writes. Anyway, this is all that I have to. There are many more things to be told about mantras, but they cannot be discussed in public in like this, especially about the mantra. And you might have seen triangle. There are two triangles. One is the Shiva triangle and the Shakti triangle. They meet, they cross, and that comes, gives rise to a chakra, a simplest chakra. The chakra, what is known as the yantra and chakras. So one triangle is like the Shiva triangle, another is Shakti triangle. They meet, they cross in the heart. So the heart awakening. So anyway, I forgot. The third point about mantra is, there is already, I think, time, I got time agata. I will just take 5 minutes and finish. Time ಇದೆ, ಎಷ್ಟಿದೆ? ನಿಮ್ಮ ವಾಚ್ ನನ್ನ ಹತ್ರ ಇದೆ. I forgot to bring watch. So Muktidananda has given me his watch. 6 o'clock. 7:05. Oh, already over. All right. 5 minutes I will take and finish, and that is the third question. What is the result of repeating the mantra? So we generally expect that Devata, Ishta Devata to appear before us. If suppose you repeat Namah Shivaya, we think Shiva will appear before us. Shiva will not appear before fools and ignorant people. It is not so easy. You can't deceive God or gods. So they will wait until that is very in the Chandogya Upanishad says, Devo Bhutva Devanapi Yeti. So you have to become a God yourself. Then only you can realize God. Devo Bhutva Devanapi Yeti. You will attain God only when you yourself become a God. And Brihadaranyaka Upanishad says, if you don't become a God and if you worship God as as most people do, as an image, then the gods will treat you like cattle. Pachureva sabhavati. In the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, in the first chapter itself, Brihadaranyaka Upanishad says. So, padena anuvindeta. You have to, in our daily life, there are footprints. God has left footprints. So, Ishvara is not something totally unknown. There are footprints of God in our mind. You have to follow the footprints. And the mantra will help you to follow the footprints. And then the footprints will lead you and demonize our soul. First you become yourself a God. Then only you can realize God. So Shiva, if you utter Namah Shivaya, Shiva will not appear before us. First Shiva will make you a God himself, yourself. And then only you can realize Shiva. So it is not at the that objective pole. When you meditate on God, Ishtadevata, we try to focus the mind on Ishtadevata. So we expect Ishtadevata to appear before us. Ishtadevata doesn't appear before us. First, the change will take place within us. First, you will change. You will become a God. Then alone you can realize the divinity. So this is an important fact which people forget. Then what about the so-called visions that people get? 90% of these so-called visions are humbug. Very rarely, some few people, only highly qualified, a few people alone get genuine visions. That is a different subject altogether. But anyway, Patanjali says, Tataha. Tataha means Swadhyaya. Patanjali says after Tataha, and from that repetition, from the Swadhyaya, what will happen? Patanjali says, Tataha Pratyak Chetana Adhigama. Pratyak Chetana Adhigama Antaraya Abhavascha. If you repeat the mantra, then two things will take place. Even before you realize God, before the Ishtadevata appears before you, there are two other things. One is the awakening Pratyak Chetana Adhigama, Abhigama. That is, you realize the Pratyagatman. You see the inner light. You become yourself a God. That is one. Antaraya api antaraya abhavascha. Obstacles will go. This you can see if you repeat the mantras with the mantra properly. So many obstacles in your life will go, external and also internal. Internal obstacles we can see, but external obstacles also go. Those who take initiation, Bangla, generally they sukh shanti. ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ತೊಂದರೆಗಳು ಹೆಚ್ಚಿಗೆ ಆಗ್ತದೆ, ಜಗಳ ಜಾಟಿ ಇತ್ಯಾದಿ ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಶುರುವಾಗ್ತದೆ. ದೆನ್ ದೇ ಥಿಂಕ್ ಆಫ್ ಟೇಕಿಂಗ್ ದೀಕ್ಷಾ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಎ ಗುರು, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಜನರಲಿ ಕುಲಗುರು. ಫ್ರಮ್ ಕುಲಗುರು ಕಾಚೆ ಗಿಯೆ ದೇ ಟೇಕ್. ಸೊ ದೇ ಫೈಂಡ್ ಇಮಿಡಿಯೇಟ್ಲಿ ಸುಖ ಶಾಂತಿ. ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ everybody lives in peace and harmony, and peace will come. So the antaraya abhavascha, the tataha, from that repetition, the pratyek chaitana adhigama, the realization of one's own inner light, inner Atman, and also antaraya abhavascha, you will see obstacles going away. So even if you don't realize God, so ನಮಗೇನು ಆಗಲಿಲ್ಲ ಎಂದು ಹೇಳಿ ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ದುಃಖ ಪಟ್ಟರೆ ಆಗೋವಿಲ್ಲ. There are other things. The mantra, repetition of the mantra will purify our mind, whole thing. And there are so many other changes will take place. Now, Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Bhagavan Sri Ram Krishna Arpanamastu.
ಸರ್ವೇ ಜನಾಃ ಸುಖಿನೋ ಭವಂತು. ಶ್ರೀರಾಮಕೃಷ್ಣ ಶರಣಂ. ಇವತ್ತಿನ ಈ ಸಂಜೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮ್ಮೆಲ್ಲರನ್ನು ಒಂದು ವಿಶೇಷವಾಗಿ ಪರಮ ಪೂಜ್ಯ ಸ್ವಾಮಿ ಭಜನಾಂಜಿ ಮಹಾರಾಜ್ ಅವರು ದೂರದ ಬೇಲೂರು ಮಠದಿಂದ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಆಗಮಿಸಿ ಮಂತ್ರದ ಔಚಿತ್ಯ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ನಮಗೆ ತಿಳಿಸಿಕೊಟ್ಟು ನಮಗೆ ಆಶೀರ್ವಾದ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಇದು ನಮ್ಮೆಲ್ಲರ ಜೀವನದಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂಡ ನಾವು ಪ್ರತಿ ದಿವಸ ಜಪ ಮಾಡುವಾಗ ನಾವು ಮಂತ್ರದ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಇನ್ನೂ ಹೆಚ್ಚಿನ ತಿಳುವಳಿಕೆ, ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ವಾಮೀಜಿ ಹೇಳಿದರು ಇರುವಂತಹ ವಾಚಕ ಶಕ್ತಿ, ಅದರಲ್ಲಿರುವ ಆಂತರ್ಯದಲ್ಲಿರುವಂತಹ ನಿಹಿತವಾಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಶಕ್ತಿಯನ್ನು ಅಭಿವ್ಯಕ್ತಿಯವಾಗುವಂತೆ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಅನೇಕ ಸೂಚನೆಗಳನ್ನು, ಇನ್ಸೈಟ್ಸ್ಗಳನ್ನು, ಗೈಡ್ಲೈನ್ಸ್ಗಳನ್ನು ಶಾಸ್ತ್ರ ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ತದೆ ಎಂಬುದನ್ನು ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಆದರೆ ಇಂಥ ಒಂದು ದೊಡ್ಡ ಸಭೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಸೂಕ್ಷ್ಮ ವಿಚಾರಗಳನ್ನು ಎಷ್ಟು ಹೇಳಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯವೋ ಸಾಮಾನ್ಯ ಜನರಿಗೆ ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡುವ ತನಕ ಆ ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡುವ ಸಾಧ್ಯತೆಗಳನ್ನು ಕುರಿತು ಅವರು ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ನಾವು ಚಿಂತನೆ ಮಾಡಿಯೇ ಅದನ್ನು ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೇಕು. ಹೊರಗಿಂದ ಏನು ತಿಳ್ಕೊಳ್ತೇವೋ ಅಷ್ಟು ತಿಳ್ಕೊಂಡು ನಾವು ಮನನ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಚಿಂತನೆ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಪ್ರಾರ್ಥನೆ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿಬಿಟ್ಟು ಅವರು ಅಪಾರ ಕೃಪೆ ಮಾಡಿ ಮೈಸೂರಿಗೆ ಬಂದು ನಮ್ಮೆಲ್ಲರನ್ನು ಆಶೀರ್ವದಿಸಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಮೈಸೂರು ಭಕ್ತರ ಪರವಾಗಿ, ಸಾಧುಗಳ ಪರವಾಗಿ ನಾನು ಅವರಿಗೆ ಹೃತ್ಪೂರ್ವಕ ಸಾಷ್ಟಾಂಗ ನಮನಗಳನ್ನು ಸಮರ್ಪಿಸ್ತೇನೆ. ಹಾಗೂ ದೂರದ ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಆಶ್ರಮದಿಂದ ಸ್ವಾಮೀಜಿಯವರ ಮೇಲೆ ಶ್ರದ್ಧೆ ಇಟ್ಟು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಮೈಸೂರಿಗೆ ಆಗಮಿಸಿದ ನಮ್ಮ ಸ್ವಾಮೀಜಿಯವರಿಗೆ, ಅನೇಕ ಭಕ್ತರಿಗೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಹಾರ್ದಿಕ ಅಭಿನಂದನೆಗಳು. ತಾವೆಲ್ಲರೂ ಕೂಡ ಇಷ್ಟು ಸಂಖ್ಯೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಇವತ್ತು ನೆರೆದಿದ್ದೀರಾ. ನಮಗೆ ಹೆಚ್ಚು ಇನ್ನು ತಿಳಿಸುವಂತಹ ಪಬ್ಲಿಸಿಟಿ ಕೊಡುವಂತಹ ಸಮಯ ಇರಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಅದು 24 ಗಂಟೆನೂ ಪ್ರಾಯಶಃ ಇರಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಆದರೂ ಕೂಡ ತಾವು ಎಷ್ಟು ಸಂಖ್ಯೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದಿದ್ದೀರಾ. ನಮಗೆಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಕೂಡ ಭಗವಂತ ವಿಶೇಷ ಕೃಪೆ ಮಾಡಲಿ. ನಮಗೆ ಹಾರ್ದಿಕ ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳು. ಈಗ ಸಂಧ್ಯಾರ್ತಿ ಆದ ನಂತರ ಸ್ವಾಮೀಜಿಯವರ ಪ್ರಣಾಮ ಇದೆ. ಸರ್ವಮಂಗಲ ಮಂಗಲ ಆದ ನಂತರ ಯಾರ್ಯಾರು ಭಕ್ತರು ಪ್ರಣಾಮ ಮಾಡಿಲ್ಲವೋ ಅವರು ಬಂದು ಸ್ವಾಮೀಜಿಯವರನ್ನು ಪ್ರಣಾಮ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. ಸ್ವಾಮೀಜಿಯವರು ನಾಳೆ ಬೆಳಿಗ್ಗೆ 9:00 ಇಲ್ಲಿಂದ ನಿರ್ಗಮಿಸ್ತಾರೆ. ಏರ್ಪೋರ್ಟಿಗೆ ಹೋಗಿ ಚೆನ್ನೈಗೆ ಹೋಗಿ ಅಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಕಲ್ಕತ್ತಾಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗ್ತಾರೆ. ಅವರ ಪ್ರಯಾಣ ಎಲ್ಲವೂ ಕೂಡ ಸುಗಮವಾಗಲಿ. ಅವರು ನಮ್ಮೆಲ್ಲರ ಮೇಲೆ ಕೃಪೆ ಇಟ್ಟು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದಂತಹ ಈ ಒಂದು ವಿಶೇಷವಾಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಆಶೀರ್ವಾದವನ್ನು ನಾವು ನೆನೀತಾ ಇರೋಣ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಸ್ವಾಮೀಜಿಗೆ ಮತ್ತೊಮ್ಮೆ ನಮನಗಳನ್ನು ಸಲ್ಲಿಸಿ ನಾನು 2 ಮಾತು ಮುಗಿಸ್ತೇನೆ. ಧನ್ಯವಾದ.
ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು ಗಮನಿಸಿ, 7:40ಕ್ಕೆ ಪೂಜ್ಯ ಸ್ವಾಮೀಜಿಯವ್ರಿಗೆ ಪ್ರಣಾಮ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಅವಕಾಶ ಇದೆ. ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ನಮ್ಮ ಎನ್ಕ್ವೈರಿ ಕೌಂಟಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾರೋ ಒಬ್ಬರು ಒಂದು ಬ್ಯಾಗ್ ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಆ ಬ್ಯಾಗ್ ಯಾರ್ದಾದ್ರು ಇದ್ರೆ ಬಂದೋದು, ಏನು ನಿಮ್ಮದು ಅಂತ ಏನಾದ್ರು ಗುರುತು ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಆ ಬ್ಯಾಗನ್ನು ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂತ ಒಂದು ಸೂಚನೆ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ.